Act, and efficient delivery of land management and administrative services in Liberia. So on this note, we want to welcome you. To move forward, we want to now call on, for opening and welcome remarks, Mr. Stanley N. Toole, Executive Director of the Liberia Lantmateriet.
My name is Stanley Toole. I'm the Executive Director of the Lantmateriet, and I've been designated to give the opening and welcome remarks. It is my pleasure to welcome everyone that is present here today for the official launch of the 5-year capacity building for inclusive land administration and management project funded by the government of Sweden through the Swedish International Development Agency. It is so wonderful to see you all here at the headquarters of the LLA on this very, very sunny day after we had a terrible evening yesterday. While we are excited that you have come here mindful of your busy schedule, we especially want to say a big welcome to senior officials of the government of Liberia, represented by Honorable Kima, who is the chairperson of the Senate Committee on Land, Mines, and Energy. And from the House of Representatives, we have the chairperson of the Committee on Lands and Mines. I would also like to particularly welcome the Swedish ambassador here present, representing the government of Sweden, Mr. Anders Lindqvist, Deputy Director General of the Swedish Land Authority, and his delegation have traveled all the way from Sweden sometime in the beginning of this week to grace this occasion. I'd also want to particularly recognize Dr. Johannes, Chief of Party of the Land Governance Support Activity of USAID, a project that has been supporting the land sector for well over 4.5 years. And also, if he is present, to recognize the country manager of the World Bank and other members of the land donor coordinating working group in Liberia. And of course, not the least, Mr. James Yasia of the Rights and Rights Foundation, representing Civil Society Working Group on Land Reform. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, with excitement, I ask that you permit me to briefly recount recent support provided by the government of Sweden to the former Land Commission and now the Liberia Land Authority through this capacity building project which has been launched today. Realizing that the Land Commission, which was established by the government of Liberia in 2009 to propose, advocate, and coordinate reforms of land policy, laws, and programs, needed qualified, experienced, and well-motivated staff to carry out the arduous task of achieving the mandate of the Commission. The government of Sweden, through CEDA, provided core support in the form of compensation for Liberian professionals that were recruited to the Technical Secretary of the Land Commission. Through the work of these Liberian professionals, assisted by national and international consultants, the former Land Commission developed a suite of land policies and guidelines, including the National Land Rights Policy, the Draft Alternative Land Dispute Resolution Policy, the Draft Land Rights Act, and of course, the Land Administration Policy, one of whose recommendations called for the establishment of the Liberia Land Authority that have now consolidated all long land functions that were spread across well over 8 to 10 agencies of the Liberian government. Under phase 2 of the CEDA support to the Liberia Land Commission project, we started early in 2013. Several interventions were made, such as the continuation of core support for the Technical Secretariat of the Commission, the inventory of travel certificates in 4 counties, namely Grand Cape Mound, Bombay, and Maserati counties, and also CEDA supported land use inventories that were conducted in Buchanan City, Grand Bassa County, Wanga City, Bond County, and Ganta Nima County. Indeed, Your Excellencies, the people of Liberia and the management and staff of the LIA in particular are grateful to the Swedish people for the financial and technical assistance provided during the take-off stage of the ongoing land reform program in Liberia. With the establishment of the Land Authority in 2016, October to be exact, followed by a series of discussions between the former chairman of the Land Authority, Dr. C.T.O. Brandy, the Swedish government through the Swedish embassy near Monrovia, was once more requested to provide support to the new authority. The affirmative response to the request led to the start of the design of this particular capacity building project in the first quarter of 2018 by experts from the Swedish Land Authority, which was selected by CEDA to implement the project, and the LIA, led by some of its professional staff, including your humble speaker as the lead project proposal writer. The design and inception phases of the project afforded relevant program staff of the LIA, as well as members of the Board of Commissioners, the opportunity to pay steady visits to the headquarters of the Swedish Land Authority in June 2018 and April 2019 to finalize the project document and learn from Sweden's experience with land registration procedures, cadastral survey procedures, customer services and communications, and land use planning. Ladies and gentlemen, the project as designed is anchored around 4 components, which will be described by speakers after me. Notwithstanding, the project focuses on capacity building through education and training of the staff of the LIA to fit the responsibilities given them, and the establishment of systems and processes for the organizational development of the LIA. Progress on the implementation of the project has accelerated under the present leadership of the LIA, headed by Anthony Adam Oliver. This is evident by the establishment of Lantmateriet's office at the LIA, the appointment of a resident project manager, the conduct of several training programs in Liberia by experts from Sweden, and the soon expected departure of relevant technical and program staff for steady visits to Sweden and parts of Africa, to, among others, acquire training in a range of land disciplines, such as the use of multi-spatial data collection instruments like total station and software development and application. application. In this regard, we commend our chairman designate for this laudable achievement thus far, and wish to publicly assure him in this public space of the fullest support and cooperation of the senior management staff of the LA. The launch of this capacity building project coincides with the ongoing implementation of other donor-funded projects with capacity building and training components, such as the USAID LTSA project that is currently training young Liberians in geomatics education at the Forestry Training Institute in Tokyo County, and the World Bank supported Liberia Land Administration project that has and continues to support the training of LA staff in the area of procurement and financial management. The net outcome of these capacity building and training interventions will be an LNA that is fully capacitated to deliver on its mandate and effectively deliver land services to the people of Liberia, as these capacity building programs will form an integral part of the 5-year training strategy that is under development at the LA. Finally, Mr. Tucker, please pay attention to the planning team. Finally, I would like to acknowledge those who have played an important part in planning and organizing this program. As the LA would not have pulled off this event without their hard work and dedication to these things. Please stand as I call your name, and let's give each of them an applause. The first is Mrs. Lantmateriet Johnson, and also Nathan, the project director for Union Planning Projects. We would also like to recognize LA Veteran Communication Officer Arnold Papa and Star Kumala, IT Officer, for his superior job coordinating media and related activities for this event. Lastly, to Mr. Vanny Sherry. Vanny, are you here? Where are you? Lastly, to Mr. Vanny Sherry, LA Logistics and Asset Management Officer, and Mr. George Coley of the Maintenance Supervisor, and the team that include the janitorial and security staff members for their splendid performance in overcoming the huge logistical challenges associated with this program. Indeed, they executed this task at very short notice. Finally, today's program will be facilitated by our capable Emmanuel Chidi, who has already started with assistance from the communication specialist of ITSA. Following which, we are expected to be treated to a pro lunch and a price chart with the chairman designate of the LA, after the J. Adam Bonibus, and the deputy director of the Swedish Lantmateriet, Mr. Anders. Again, thank you very much for coming, and have a blessed day. Thank you.
About the project, give you a brief overview of what we're going to do during the 5 years here in Liberia that we passed today. I would also like to say thank you to the Swedish government and the ILAMP for sponsoring this project. Lantmateriet have a long-term commitment to and very high vision with this project. And therefore we will going to station 3 permanent experts in in Liberia during this project implementation. Some will stay longer, some will be a little bit shorter, but the project will always have a team set up to match the LLA's need for training and support in our 4 different outcomes. Lantmateriet and the Liberian Lantmateriet will work together to create capacity to contribute to the inclusive, transparent, efficient and effective delivery of land management and land administration services here in Liberia. We also see our role in this project as a team member. That means that we will search for coordination and partnership with stakeholders, other authorities and organizations who want to support or cooperate to make improvements to the Liberian land sector. Lantmateriet have a long experience from the land administration, and it's wide. And we have a long tradition in capacity development and training. Actually, internal learning organization for ourselves, but also as an international partner in capacity building for developing countries. Not only in Africa, we've been to Asia, Europe, and several countries around the world. We will support with several and different kinds of experts and professions in the island, many of them with years of experience from governmental work, capacity building, or from developing projects, both in internal but also abroad experience. For some time now, Mr. Torb described, we have prepared for begin and organized to set up for the project to be here in Liberia and Monrovia. For example, we will provide you lawyers, legal surveyors, technical surveyors, land realization experts, IT and system personnel, human resources, policy makers for gender and equality, and also management and leadership training on all levels, communication experts, working process, land use planning and GIS for mapping, etc. That means we will provide trainings in short terms, long and medium and long terms. And we expect the 4 outcomes that will prepare the LLA staff on all levels to be skilled enough to carry out their duties in the future. We also have the special increased women participating in land administration and management on all levels. Advocate and support local governments for creating and enforce of land use plans. Develop and secure methods of demarcation and regulation of customary land. An overall focus is to help and support LLA to be a trusted authority to deliver land administration and service to the Liberian society and the citizen of Liberia. As a personal expectation for myself, I not only want to be part of this project, I also like to learn and have new friends here in Liberia and find new colleagues. I also would like to say special thanks to the team led by Daniela Ray Johnson, who made this effort and tremendous work about this launching and make this day possible. Thank you for listening.
Colleagues, allow me to stand on existing protocol. I want to apologize in advance because I need to leave after having said these words. That doesn't take away the importance of this occasion. There is a lot of work that has gone into this launch process, and there are many people who deserve credit and thanks for the efforts that they have made to realize this. I think this is really an important moment. I'm so happy to be part of this launch of this important project. And on behalf of the Embassy of Sweden, we look forward to see the achievements being accomplished. And we have great hope to see you succeed with all the expectations that are on you. I'm also very happy to see Swedish Lantmateriet, the Swedish Mapping, Cadastral and Land Registration Authority here, a governmental authority with a mission to give support for creating an efficient and sustainable use of Sweden's real properties, land and water. What you meet here is also the international branch doing the same thing, operating with peers in other parts of the world. The international aim is to contribute towards fighting poverty and supporting economic development. Very important task here in Liberia. I'm also very happy about the constructive relations that have developed between the Land Authority and Lantmateriet, and I think you heard it when Oscar was speaking. It has been recorded as a successful completion of the project inception phase. Both authorities took time to learn about each other and to form the basis of mutual trust, which is important for institutional cooperation. And I've seen some of you traveling to Sweden, and I've seen some of the fellow Swedes coming here, so I've seen the efforts that you put into it. This is a win-win situation. I believe both Sweden and Liberia can learn from each other and benefit from this project. As you all know, the land situation in Liberia is very important. Land remains a crucial element in the conflicts that you have and in the post-conflict work that you have been pursuing ever since the peace accords. Disputes over land are often the cause of conflicts, and the restitution of housing, land and property rights for returning refugees and internally displaced persons constitutes a fundamental part of peace building. Therefore, to have a sustainable and working land authority is very important. The expected outcomes in the long term of this project is 1. Skilled land authority staff effectively and efficiently carrying out their duties. 2. Women participating in land administration and management. 3. Local government creating and enforcing land use plans. And 4. Customary land demarcated and managed. I usually talk about the feminist foreign policy when I'm in front of a microphone, and I will do so today as well. Women, especially women in rural areas, face greater challenge to realize their property right to land. And as you heard in the presentation from Oscar, this is recognized in the creation and drafting of this project. It's also a very important part of our feminist foreign policy. We welcome the Land Rights Act of 2018, recognizing equal rights of women and men to land rights, and that the implementation of the act should make full realization of both women and men and their right to land. Women have been denied ownership of land and not been included in the decision-making on community land matters for too long. It makes no sense to leave half the population behind, and it's therefore crucial to make sure that everyone is included. But awareness of the Act is yet to be achieved for it to have a real impact. Here, we have a lot of work to do. But to make sure that women participate in the land administration and management is a first step and a very important step. In order to understand the needs of women, the women need to be engaged. Sweden has great commitment to this project. It's estimated to be more than $7 million of funding. But this is only for the technical and institutional cooperation. It does require also budgetary commitment from the government of Liberia to step in and to make sure the land authority gets the means needed to succeed with its important work. Sweden is here to support the development of the staff of the land authority because we believe in the land authority and we believe they will do the right priorities in line with its strategic plan. Focus areas for 2019 to 2020 are 1. Customer service and public relations, 2. Land registry procedures, 3. Cadastral and surveying procedures, and 4. Customary land regulations and bylaws. With this in mind, it's important to highlight that it's the people of Liberia who shall be the ultimate beneficiaries of this project. Lantmateriet, the Swedish agency, is here to support the land authority. in order for the Land Authority to support the people of Liberia. The men and the women, the boys and the girls.
We want to now call on to do the overview of the ILAMP Liberia project, Mrs. Denelia Green-Johnson, Project Director at the Lantmateriet Authority.
Staff of the Swedish Embassy, honorable members of the legislature, government officials present, our donors,
and partners, fellow staff, ladies and gentlemen. In 2018, the government and people of Liberia, through the Swedish International Development Cooperation Agency, provided an amount of approximately $8 million to support the project capacity building for inclusive land administration and management in Liberia project. This project will run for a period of 5 years, commencing in 2019 and ending in 2023. And will be jointly implemented by the Liberian Land Authority and Lantmateriet, the Swedish Mapping Cadastre and Land Registration Authority. The project has 4 key components that are fully aligned with the LLA's mandate and our 5-year strategic plan. The expected outcomes of this project are LLA staff trained to carry out their duties, women participating in land use, land administration and management, local government creating and enforcing land use plans, and customary land demarcated and managed. This project will be governed by a steering committee and will also have a reference or advisory group comprising government institutions, CSOs, and other key actors in the land sector to provide support and guidance. The ILAMP will also support LLA to improve coordination among donors in the sector. At the end of the 5 year of this project, we hope that the functions and responsibilities of each technical department of LLA will be fully defined. The LLA staff will have enhanced capacity to carry out their duties, that a general strategy is developed and fully implemented, and women are more aware of and are achieving their rights to land, that regulations and guidelines for land use and management are developed, and local authorities can meaningfully participate in the process of land use planning and management in customary communities, among others. The successful implementation of this project will help us deliver our 5-year strategic plan and overall mandate, and ultimately begin to address the pervasive land issues around the country, and the citizens of Liberia can adequately enjoy the benefits of land as a key resource and economic asset. As project director of the LLA, I will work to ensure coordination and collaboration between Lantmateriet and other donor-funded projects, CSOs, NGOs, and other key actors in the land sector, so to be able to measure cumulative progress over time. I thank you.
Okay, so we now want to recognize and call on Mr. Anders Lundquist, who is the Deputy Director General, Lantmateriet, for remark.
Okay, thank you very much. Here, our official representatives, representatives from the Swedish Embassy, Mr. Chair, Executive Director, Commissioners, partners and colleagues from the Liberian Land Authority and Lantmateriet, ladies and gentlemen. I'm from the Swedish Mapping Cadastre and Land Administration Authority, Lantmateriet. You can say that we are the sister organization from Sweden when it comes to LA. We are a fairly old organization. Actually, in 9 years we're turning 400 years, 2028 to be exact. So I feel quite ancient standing here in front of such a young organization like the Liberian Land Authority. You can say if the Swedish Embassy is the sponsor of this project, then Lantmateriet is the implementation partner. And we have a unit, an international services unit in Sweden, who supports developing countries towards fighting poverty and support economical growth. And this international unit are active in around 15 countries at the time, mainly in Eastern Europe, Western Balkan, and in the African states south of Sahara. And the core what we do is what we are going to do here in Liberia is to build capacity and training and transferring knowledge about effective and efficient land administration. And this is actually something that we also have been doing for quite a long time. Around in the 70s, the 60s, 70s, this was something that we started in Sweden in offering developing countries. And I would also like to say a few words about land administration. What is land administration? Land administration is the process of determining, recording and disseminating information about land. Land administration is also the relation between people and its land. And it's also, you can say, the relation between land and its people. So it's very important with land administration. And it can also, land management is about how to use the land, how to use it in a good and controlled manner. And I know this is not proper English, but so you don't use the land by abusing it. And especially when it comes to environmental question these days, it's very important to have a good land use plan, which I'm glad is a part and a component of our cooperation here together with the LLA. A good and stable land administration is a key in forming, like Ingrid said, a strong and sustainable society. Sustainable, especially when it comes to economical growth, since land often is the most valuable asset for a country. But good and strong land administration is also important to work with questions like food security, poverty reduction, and as I just said, in a way, good way, through geographical information which you get when you're doing land survey, for instance, to work with environmental changes. And something that of course goes without saying, can avoid land conflicts. And again, to create a stable and solid market economy. Another example to that is that land ownership is often used in all countries, and especially in developing countries, as a collateral, a mortgage, a security to take loans to start up a business operation. So it's proven that a good land administration is actually a prerequisite to get the market economy started. So today we start this important and exciting project together as a partner with the Liberia Land Authority on this official launch. And we will do this together. We will do it together with the Swedish Embassy. We will do it together with the Liberia Land Administration, Mr. Manoba, Mr. Toad, Commissioner Jackson, Commissioner Burgess, and all the management team at the LLA and all the co-workers and the staff at the LLA, and also, of course, through representatives and leaders from Lantmateriet. So I'm very proud to stand there today on this official launch. And I also would like to recognize Oscar Nilsson as our project manager, and Ms. Daniela Gray, our project director, who will work for us on this. So again, the official launch of the capacity building for inclusive land administration and management project in Liberia. I'm glad that we have the abbreviation for that, actually, ILAMP. It would make it so much easier to say. So finally, for the next 5 years, together with other sponsors and partners, of course, we won't be alone with this. There are the World Bank and USAID and so on. But we will be a crucial part, together with the Swedish Embassy, to help and support the Liberian land administration in building capacity to form a modern and effective land administration to secure land rights for all and the people in Liberia. Thank you.
On behalf of the gender unit, we extend our appreciation to SILA, Lantmateriet, for joining with other partners, UN, UCLGSA, LEDASA, EU, and the World Bank in helping us, the Liberia Land Authority, in championing the cause of increasing women participation in land administration and management. We believe that your contributions to this program will go a long way in empowering Liberian women, especially rural women, their husbands, and their children. If the objectives are such as increasing land productivity, affordable housing, food security is met, the issue of gender differences must be considered within the land sector. Because of gender equality promotes sustainable development, reduces conflict, and ensures the sense of belonging in the society. Thank you.
I will be telling you then. I will be telling you. And here. Yeah.
And are you here?
David.
You will give me my money today. Oh, give it to me.
That's more money than you get me for it.
That's more money. You know how I get it. You will get my money, oh.
But you might get more now.
You will get my money or you get my money. Today, what are today? And I'm passing by.
But you might get more.
You will get it. You rascal. Oh, man, are you?
You might get
You will
more.
get my money or my money. You will get my money. Today.
Sister, why you man holding woman like this?
You know it?
I ain't gotta know it, but why you holding like this?
They men are wrong.
Woman like this will get gray hair.
Men are wrong.
What mean wrong?
If I say he get it, I gave him my money for land. He said you are going to give me the land. Since that time, about 3 years, that today I see him and I want my land today.
Papi, can do we send a karate woman? Can I'm not break down. Yeah, they can. And wait, Papi, they can't give you money.
Yeah, 3 years ago she gave me money.
How much?
She gave me 3,000 for 2 lakhs.
Cancel. Yeah, your land you get.
Yeah.
You register your land to the Liberia Land Authority.
They left my grandpa lived in there.
I say the land you get. But who the surveyor you get?
The surveyor? Now I'm dancing.
Could I just say? Kill the surveyor?
Yeah, the boy, who is dancing here? No. We get to me go.
Listen up. The man registered with the Liberia Land Authority, the registered surveyor with Leslie.
My man, I started there with the machine there, and he came with the Zoom of the road, down the road. And he not to be letting.
Hey, wait. Listen to me, sister. Come on this house, man. You know I'm gonna tell you. How are you getting home, man?
I gave him 3,000.
3,000 with it?
US.
But it's like
Close, mama. They want to give you 3,000 US.
3,000 for 2 lakhs.
Close, mama. My sister, your money. They owe me here. No, let me tell you, so bitch, it's out with him.
Huh?
They're men that the people that can go on the field to sell people land.
Hey, my who finish?
No, listen. Come on, listen. You, yeah, wait. From today, and you want buy land. No, the Liberia Land Authority, they make it every shortcut. They think it was 10 way to get land, but this time they put it in law to the Liberia Land Authority. They break it down to 6. The first thing you want buy land, you must make sure the person outside that land go check behind that land. Whether that land is selling, whether that fake land or that could buy a land. That's number 1. Number 2, when you now find a good proof for yourself that land and that fake one, then you and the land seller, you sit down, you talk about the price. When you agree on the price, but as the person that's selling the land, whether she or he, whether he can pay the tax for that land, When you not pay, to your sit down, you're discussing who will pay, whether that you that buying it or that me get the land. For example now, when you finish what I want, the Liberia Land Authority, no, let me tell you, they get the proper surveyor there, they get a lesson. They will get you one. They will survey your land. When you finish what I want, you go to any lawyer, they will look at that deed. Correct. And that deed must be signed by the land and the surveyor. Your lawyer will look at it bear to bear, fair to fair. Hey, carry to the archive there. That one not go no more. When you finish what I want, when your lawyer say correct, then you go back to the Liberia Land Authority and say, this is my paper. And the paper when you correct, go. The other people the way you're sitting down, some of them buy land on the side. Fire, my daughter, I'm going to Lofa to explain the same thing to the people because of time. If you want to buy land, go check the person that sent the land. The person that survey your land must be raised up. Now, fake surveyor. You know the surveyor there's somebody anyway, the only teller, and we are fire.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. From today, now what are you doing? They get punishment for you people that on the corner side on the whole fee, surveying people land illegally. So but you know the office? Okay, show my mom. When you claiming Mama Point, you go low on your left.
Yeah.
The OWFP.
Oh.
They pay the wire. So I beg you, your money lost. But the old man will deal when you come to the law. The only person that will decide that cancel the Jassy, he buy illegal man. But for today, you want to buy land, go check Google. Yeah? So I see you play a grand low for now. The law will deal with you. You're not going free.
the chairman designate of the Liberian Land Authority, Anthony J. Adams Manuel.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. May I just ask a question? We have two Jackson in the land sector now. One is Hamza Jackson and the other one is Samuel Jackson. For the land who spent for $3,000, we will make sure the land authority, your money will not go free. Honorable government officials present, in person of the chairman of the Senate Committee on Land, Mines, Energy and Natural Resources, Senator Joseph Eckert. Honorable Vincent William, chairman of the House Committee on Land, Mines, Energy and Natural Resources. Before I go further, these are individuals far Liberians who have our being here today by passing the Liberian land. The Swedish ambassador, the UNDP representative here, the landowner working group, the donor community, international implementing partners, national non-governmental organizations and civil society in the land sector, traditional women and youth leaders who all are very active in this sector. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the folk essay for the Liberians. The purpose of which you are invited here today is number one, in that it is to witness and participate in the formal launch and dedication of a 5-year capacity building package for an inclusive land administration and management in Liberia. On behalf of the Board of Commissioners of the Liberian Land Authority, the Swedish Land Authority, and in my own name, I most warmly welcome all of you to this event. For taking off your busy schedule to honor our invitation to you, we extend profound gratitude and appreciation for their support in the land sector. Thank you very much. This project was funded from the government and people of Sweden through the Swedish International Corporation, SIDA. It's being jointly implemented by the Liberian Land Authority and the Swedish Land Authority. And President of the ground will be Lantmateriet, who is the mapping, cadastre, land administration authority of Sweden. As mentioned by previous speakers, the project has 4 components. They include capacity building of Liberian staff, Liberian Land Authority staff, women participation in land administration and management, increased capacity on local government structure in land use planning, and lastly, customary land demarcation and management. Because of the close relationship and cooperation subsisting between the governments, the people of Liberia, we started in the early 1970s when the Liberian American Swedish company, LANTmateriet, was established. We are especially happy and proud that this project established an extraterritorial possessions of the government of Sweden is a major contribution to the land sector of Liberia. Our collective association at the United Nations over the years in pursuit of world peace and human dignity has resulted in an exhilarating and rewarding path. I'm prepared to recall that our deep ties and friendship and cooperation were further strengthened when in 1964, lavish courtesy were bestowed upon President William P. Tubman and his wife by the majesties of the King and Queen of Sweden, family members of the royal family, the government and people of Sweden, during a state visit of President Tubman. A team of land professionals is currently stationed at the Liberian Land Authority. To have with us such impressive teams of professionals in various aspects of land administration to help sharpen the knowledge and skills of land professionals at the Liberian Land Authority is quite commendable, and is told that a new day is breaking in Liberia, particularly in the land sector. An agricultural society like ours, land is the main source of livelihood, from the national level to the community level. It is the fundamental resource of agriculture and forestry activities. In today's world, no community will develop without a working, a functioning land administration system in this country, in this economy. Land, like any other form of riches or wealth, is, if not properly managed, it leads the country, the society, in chaos. Yes, Liberian experience that. Some of the factors that led to our civil war was also land ownership, the definition of land. And we are happy today to tell you that the land rights law in Liberia today answers the question that was asked way back. We remember the days of the coup. Who owns land? Papa's land. This law today in Liberia has answered that question. And as of now on, we know who owns Papa's land. Thank you, Liberian people, for passing this bill. The responsibility for land matters was fragmented, assigned to several other government institutions and agencies. This organization served as incentive for fraudulent, illegal land transaction, which continue today to haunt Liberia. Consequently, in 2009, the Land Commission was established by an act of legislation. And the mandate of the Land Commission at the time was to propose institutional and legal reform to the Liberian people. This culminated into the development and adoption of a national land policy. Subsequently, the Liberian Land Authority was also passed. Notwithstanding, during the life of the Liberian Land Commission, what we now today call the Liberian Land Right Law was drafted by the Land Commission. We are thankful for His Excellency, President George Manasmia, in the days of his electioneering
in 2016, 2017, he promised, if the law is not passed through the last administration, he said, upon taking office, we will make sure this law is passed. And we are happy. It is regrettable that the President pro tem, Senator Chief, is not here today. But these were fine Liberians who stood the time of test to make sure that today we can get the Liberian law passed. And the passage of the law, Senator was there, Honorable President was there. We are happy that they fulfill the promises of the Liberian people. That they made. There are some statements that I will not repeat what they said when we come back. We will pass the line, and they pass it when they came back. Let me also just drift away from what I'm to say. We have many people who help us tirelessly, selflessly, to make sure that the law was passed. And one of the groups was the Civil Society of Liberia. We have us the champions. If we have to name all, because there are so many others will name us. But let me just mention two names, all three. So Henry is here. They were the Hebrews for the past. Mr. James Yasir, he's also here. It is the test of time, and our own brother. You know better sometimes you can't be man. That is that he is my little brother, Dr. Yuri. For the Land Authority Act, the commission was established. And that commission has 5 land commissioners. The commission has a chairman, a vice chair, and 3 other commissioners with respective functions and duties within land governance. The message being helping us today to ensure better coordination of all land administration, notwithstanding the real challenges are ahead. Meaning, yes, we have the land policy, we have the land rights law, but that's not all today. There are other key important issues that we need to take into consideration. All along, the Liberian people wanted their land back. Yes, the government decided to give the land back, and the government has given the land back. But what do we do with our land? We will at this time ask, request our partners who are helping us to implement the land right law provisions. That having the land in your name is not enough. The most important thing all along the forefathers of Liberia wanted was the benefit of the land. And make sure we have the land in their name. The law has provided that. We are now to talk to our brothers, our communities, the customary communities, that don't just hold the land, but also seek investment. Let's make sure we can make the land available for investment, so that not just you get the benefit from the land, but as someone comes and leases your land, they pay you token, they pay you lease fee, they invest their money, they employ people. But guess what? Once someone is employed in Liberia and your income is taxable, you provide income to the government too, which is income tax. And the investor also pay corporate tax. They also pay loyalty to the government. And that's the only way you, as a family head, you will educate your children, they become someone today, and they will be prepared to stand where we stand today. At the same time, the government responsibility to provide social benefit, hospitals, schools, police officers, soldiers. The government provides these services from the taxes they collect. And they want to do it, they will collect taxes. from my taking, from the land sector, if we make our land available for investment. Again, let me say this. Some may think the passage of the new law will serve as disincentive to investment. I disagree. I totally disagree. Our people refuse to get land to the concession because, first of all, they were not performing. But besides that, the government said the land did not belong to them, they were only custodians of the land. Now that question has been answered. Our people did benefit. And the new law, if effectively implemented, it will serve as incentive, it will serve to attract investment into the land sector. Let us not forget, Liberia as a nation, we have always used all of our iron ore, and we have nothing to show that Liberia was ever a middle income country. Liberia as a nation, we are again giving away all of the gold and diamonds in Liberia. And these are mineral resources that you cannot bring back, you cannot replenish, you cannot restore. The only resources we have now remaining with us is the land and its forest. If we cannot make good use of that today, where are we going to be tomorrow? So we need to talk to our people to make the land available. Again, the law provides that sometimes you make law and it becomes very difficult to get the land. Every community you should have free, prior, informed consent given before your land is taken. But besides that, the investors give you 5%, at least 5% ownership. And sometimes we will say, no, that is very difficult. But if that would make more land available for investment, I think we need to try it. Moreover, we are thankful and we appreciate the work of the President, Dr. George Weah, for fulfilling his promise to the Liberian people when he signed into law on October 10, 2018, the first real land law in Liberia. We share in common the excitement and pleasure today for attending this program. Notwithstanding, there were individuals who also stood here in support of the land authority, in support of land reforms in Liberia. They are not here today, but we pay homage to all former commissioners of the former land commission in the Liberian Land Authority. They were here. Had it not done good work, most likely we will not be standing here today to inaugurate this project. Equally, we salute those who enter later. We met some people here, some of them came later. And for the time, those who came later, they entered. They continue to work along with us when the government was here. They continue to work along with me. And as the executive director said, we are fighting by all means to create more leaders at the Liberia Land Authority. For us today as leaders, we have two responsibilities. We have overcome one, which was to fight and become a leader. Now we are a leader of the Liberia Land Authority. The next one is to create more leaders. Leaders who will be selfless, leaders who will do the people work, leaders who will solve the problem. And this project, as we heard, is intended to create capacity. And we will make sure that capacity will be created. The Liberian people will see it, and they will feel it positively too. To our customer community and implementing partners, this is very important. Let me just repeat it. Because the land authority will not have all the resources to be in all the colors at the same time. We may have implementing partners or civil society or NGO who will be taking advantage of the condition, not of Liberia, not of the land authority, but the financial condition of the country. Because I definitely know And I'm sure, even if by next year we are out of the woods or turn the corner, the Lord will give us enough money. Yes, we will still need assistance from the rural community, but at least we'll be able to stand on one leg to provide some services. So our customer community, please work along with us. And the implementing partners, please carry the right message to the people, so that when we get there, it will not be different. Honorable government officials, the Swedish government, federal land professionals, both from Liberia and Sweden, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, by voices of the authority, in the investment, as head of the Board of Commissioners of the Liberia Land Authority, I hereby declare this project the inclusive land administration and management project. We declare it officially launched.
Temptation to again recognize two distinguished personalities in our midst, and these are Honorable Senator and Honorable Racing Willie, two distinguished honorables. I like to describe them as statesmen. You know, we have a famous Kenyan professor who says there's a difference between politicians and statesmen. Politicians, they are very concerned about the next elections. So everything they do is about the next elections. Will this make me to win the next election or not? But statesmen and stateswomen look beyond the next elections. They look beyond their term in office. And I would say, without fear, that these two gentlemen distinguished themselves in our 4 years of battle to get this land law passed. So I'm joining the voices of others to recognize their efforts, and I'm very sure that they are pleased to see the reward of their efforts together. And this wasn't long. This was barely 1 year, a couple of months ago. So you can see how time slips by. But we really want to be glad that they are here with us today. We also want to be glad that we are the first given the honor to speak after the chair has launched this project. To me, it testifies to something he has said to us over and again, that I really would like to work with you, civil society. He has said this over and over, and the fact that we are recognized and we are allowed to speak on this occasion, I think testifies to that. And so, Honorable Chairman, I think your voice has been put into reality. Thank you so much. So on behalf of the CSO Working Group on Land Rights, a coalition of over 30 civil society organizations, I wish to extend our thanks and sincere gratitude to the government and people of Sweden on the occasion of the launching of this great initiative. As we are all aware, civil society can properly be described as the moral guarantor and the ardent champion of the Land Rights Act, working closely with our government partners. Upon the passage of the Land Rights Act, we also continue to serve as our moral and technical responsibilities to accompany the process of the implementation of the Act. One of the critical issues that we have faced in Liberia, and we have discussed everywhere, has been the capacity of the land authority. And I think the Swedish assistance is timely and is coming at a time that we are taking a sign of relief that the Liberian Land Authority's capacity will be built in this project, and that we have one more step forward to see that Liberians will realize their land rights. The challenge now, of course, rests with us, with the land authority and us as partners, to maximize and utilize the Swedish assistance so that it can benefit the greatest majority. As for us within civil society, we can assure you, the government of Sweden, the LLP, and all other actors that we remain as committed now as we were committed then to see the law passed. And you can count on our collaboration. You can also count on our critical accompanying of this process, so where we disagree, we'll be the first to tell you. And that has been part of our collaboration. It has been healthy. And we want to assure you that some of the guarantees of this project, which we're very excited about, is the fact that customary land is being recognized and registered. But beyond that, also, women's land rights is an important component of this law. These are two of the key principles when we advocated for the law, that we were not going to compromise. We were not going to compromise these principles for anything. So we are happy that they are enshrined within the project. So for the CSOs, we also will collaborate with all other partners. We're developing a lot of networks and coalitions thanks to our international partners who are also helping the government and helping us. I can mention only a few with the risk that I leave some people out. That's the EU Land Rights Project, the 10U facility, and it has been mentioned over the USAID Land Governance Support Activity, although primarily targeting to work with government, has also been of great assistance to civil society. We also have a multi-actor project called Land for Life, making policies work for food security, whose project manager, Ibru Tosario, stopped over to speak with us, so we recognize her. And there are also other forums, the International Land Coalition and the African Union. They are all supporting civil society to support the government to see this process come through. So going forward, we would like to encourage and promote a culture of cooperation and collaboration so as to avoid overlapping, so as to avoid duplication, because the task is huge and the resources are scarce. But if we collaborate and we cooperate, I'm sure we can make tremendous progress. Again, we want to say thank you to the government and people of Sweden for their support. We congratulate the LLA and ourselves for this unique opportunity to be capacitated to face the challenging task of ensuring that all Liberians actualize the land rights which is promised in their law. Thank you very much.
To be a part of this historic day, I would like to be a little bit brief. Now I think we speak more. As a committee chair, I bring you greetings from the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Dr. Babu Chimio, and members of the House of Representatives. Today is speaking of yesterday, the day when I saw chiefs and elders of Liberia County and even people from my own county and district at the Capitol building chanting slogans and different words to push all in passage of the Land Rights Act. Of course, the issue of land administration and land management cannot be overemphasized. You agree with me that land dispute is across Africa. So it would be better for us to be prepared and manage our land in a proper way. And that is why some of us was very much glad with the support of civil society. And let me say thanks to the international communities and our donors, our partners who sponsor the Rights and Rights Foundation and others, and the CSO Working Group on Land Rights Act, They were very much instrumental, and every morning they were at our door. Before I open my door in the morning, I would see Mr. Yasia or Dr. Yuri or Ali Kaba, and I was like, what is God looking for? And so they were very much instrumental. So all of the funding did not go in vain. So thank you very much, our international partners, for the kind of support you give the civil society. And so it's a good thing, and we are happy to see. But the next phase is where I like to lead on behalf of them that the issue of administration and management should be given keen attention, so that they will go across the county, across the country, so that the people will understand how they own the land and how the land can be managed and how administration of the land is proper. With that, it will not just be one of those acts that are just in the corner. You know, there are a lot of good laws in Liberia, but the implementations of those laws are the issues that we have in this country. So I like to, and the president is also keen about this Land Right Act, because he was very much curious and he was passionate about signing the law when we passed the law. And today, he spoke about it in the last State of Nation address. So everyone in this country is so concerned about land administration and land management in this country. So as a country and as a people, I know very much we counting on you as our partner to help the LRA in pushing some of the agenda, and also our civil society groups, so that they can explain to our people. So thank you very much, Honorable Chairman and Commissioners, for the hard work here, Executive Director 2, and all other staffs of the LRA. I know you guys are well, and we at the House will do our best once the budget comes to lobby with our colleagues, that you can have some support, and with the funding, you can build the technical capacity of all of your staffs so that they can properly administer the issue of land in our country. Thank you very much. Thank you. And our those are going to be willing to help you and come to the room. Thank you very much.
And also, we want to call on Senator George T. Tegwell, who happens to be the chairman on the Senate Committee on Lands, Mines, Energy, and Natural Resources.
Good afternoon. Let me recognize the acting chair of the Liberian Authority and these commissioners. Let me also recognize Mr. Jimmy Nasir and Dr. Yuri. I think you got from my junior brother the way the pressure rises to pass this land right eye. And the Swedish government, others of UNDP, all our supporting partners, our citizens, the press. We want to thank God first for this day. And I was sitting like, I wish this program was in now at Monrovia City Hall, where you have a lot of people coming, because the issue of land in this country is crucial. You heard Mr. Yacha say it took 4 years for us to have passed this law. It was not like negligence on our part. I remember the women would come. I think somebody back there should always lead the women to come to the Capitol building. Your passing law, we want our rights. And they will not just come at home, they will take children to come. And so it was like telling us you need to. But I told them apparently one time that your husband coming from work and saying I'm hungry, does it mean you should just prepare any food? He will have to give you time to prepare the delicious food. So give us the time, we'll do it better. And for sure, Mr. Yasha, Dr. Yuri, at one point in time, we spent over 3 hours talking, going here and there. But it was necessary for the fact that if I would be a preacher and stand here today and say, honor that cannot build there are 4 or 5 persons that have their issues. I'll be right. Because almost every individual in this country is affected one way or the other on the issue of land. You saw the drama that was performed. It's a reality. People sit in the diaspora, send money to their relatives will even quote them. Buy land for me, let me send money to build, they will send 4 different houses. And so, we don't understand why people are not understanding this. Why not the 5-year project that has been launched here today, and I like the team so carefully, promoting inclusive, transparent, effective, and efficient delivery of land management and administration services in Liberia. And this is crucial. We have passed the law, yes, but the very crucial part is the implementation. And this is where we ask the civil society organization to pressurize the land authority as you did to us who have passed the law, so that whatever that is written in there should be implemented. Because you go from the north of this country to the south, from the west to the east, the issues are everywhere. Concession companies are in land issue with communities. So we have to call government that this land authority is very key and crucial to the furtherance of this country. We need to support the land authority. You got land administrators all over the country. We used to call them land commissioners. But today they are land administrators across the country. And the surveyors used to be under the Ministry of Mines and Energy. Today they are not there. So the land authority inherited some people, some issues that they need to deal with. And they need help from partners, they need help from government. And I'm sure capacity building, you don't have to give somebody cash. The capacity building project is like teaching you to fish. So that you will not be getting fish every time, you will not have to fish every time. So if our capacity is built, Liberia's capacity is built to handle land matter, I believe some of these cases will be laid to rest. And we must be honest and call a spade a spade. Lawyers have to be honest and call a spade. You don't have to take bribe to defend somebody that is already guilty in the act. It will not help us, it will not go anywhere. The only thing that will help us is to look at somebody in the face, this issue, you are not right in this case. The land doesn't belong to you. The way you got this land was wrong. So let's go back on the table and see if you can buy the land a second time, go ahead and buy it. I want person that bought my land twice. Can you imagine paying $30,000 for 1.3 lot of land? Because they didn't want holding and pulling. At the time when I even chair, when I begin chairing the committee, I've had my experience. That not everybody has the head to do that kind of thing. Because somebody is poor, and because I have the money, go to court. You drain the whole day. They will say, I live with God. We don't want people leaving land issue with God. That's why we have the courts. So the land authority will give the support to read and talk. And I know you got support from the international partners. And government will have to support you. There are some big people in government that are stepping on poor people's land. Because they are bishop, they don't want to give it right to the poor. Once you then I got the money, negotiate and you can buy it. That's better. We have seen people taking court license for each other, winning each other for land matter. This has to stop. And who can help stop this? The Liberian Land Authority with the help of the civil society organizations. This capacity building, I believe in my mind, is in the vein of stopping these issues. But the court, justice, has to stand tall in this. Thank God, commissioners are counselors. Before you get to court, I believe they can handle it. Not because I am a minister or I am a senator, that when a poor person there, a citizen is in problem with me, with a land matter, that will not be subject to the truth. I beg all of us, let's help our people. And please again, make sure that this law is implemented to the fullest. And my oversight function, I'm going to be on your back. My colleague asked me, why are you today the confirmation of the acting chair? I said, when I name matter, you saw the law today to pass. He was vice chair, but now to come as chair, let's see how he will drive this boat. And we showed them. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, honorable officers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol served, Mr. Hank. Well, I have to disclose, I'm just caught by surprise. Just asked to represent, I don't know who. Myself, my project, USA, but he has told me that I will represent the developing partners, and I will try to be as relevant as possible. Although it's tempting when you have this kind of an opportunity to talk about the progress made at one's own project. That will be for another time. It would suffice to say that USAID has been supporting the land sector starting from the days of the Land Commission, as the Executive Director mentioned earlier on. And over the last 4 years, we have been supporting the Land Authority under the USAID project. On behalf of myself and my project, the USAID funded land governance support activity, I would like to congratulate the Land Authority and Lantmateriet for formally launching the ILAMP project. I would like also to say, on behalf of the international development partners, welcome to the Club of International Development Partners. It is not only it is the World Bank, the civil society organizations, and others. Comparative empirical evidence reveals mixed experience when it comes to technical assistance that are focused on capacity building. There have been instances where the development partners did not prove to be part of the solution. I'm not going to say they were part of the problem all the time. On the other hand, there have been donor-funded technical assistance projects that were able to significantly contribute to building local capacity. I trust this project that is being launched today will be in the latter category. I trust you will be part of the solution. In the case of Liberia, and particularly the Land Authority, I believe that it is a conducive climate for donors and development partners to play central role in providing funding and technical assistance that are needed to build local capacity. However, the funding dependence of the municipality agency, in this case the Land Authority, should never result in the development partners control over mission, direction, and prioritization of activities. I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir. Certainly, such donor-donee relationships should never result into uncertainty in the future. Finally, I would like to conclude by expressing my sincere hope and wish that this project that's being launched today, LGSA and other development partners will be able to create synergy and work hand in hand towards the land authorities in institutional development. I thank you. I wish you success in your efforts. Thank you so much.
I want to leave the audience to come outside. I want to join Senator Tenden because I remember vividly when you paraded the corridors of the Capitol building barefooted with slippers on your head, asking the lawmakers to pass the Land Rights Act. I want to say thank you. I'm honored and deemed it a great privilege to have been asked to extend a vote of thanks on this historic occasion. Today will be remembered as a milestone in the history of the Liberia Land Authority, as it is the dawn of a new beginning in the land sector of Liberia. The presence of all our partners, to mention few, CEDA, USAID, LGSA, World Bank, UNDP, Landesa, PALE, Rights and Rights Foundation, CAFA, FAO, is a reflection of the importance they have attached to the commitment and willingness to assist in the transformation of the land sector by supporting needed interventions for the benefits of the people of Liberia. We are all inspired by your gracious presence. On behalf of the government of Liberia, the Board of Commissioners and staff of the Liberia Land Authority, I extend my thanks and appreciation to our invited guests for gracing this important occasion. I would like to take this opportunity to express my heartfelt thanks to Andreas Lundquist, the Deputy Director of Lantmateriet, and his delegation for Sweden for the continuous support to the Land Authority. I must mention our deepest sense of appreciation to the government of Sweden for the immense support to Liberia in general. I take this opportunity to extend our most sincere thanks to all of our invited guests who are coming from different destinations for their support and cooperation. I also like to express our sincere thanks to media persons from both print and electronic media for giving an excellent coverage to our program. I also extend my sincere thanks to the team from Lantmateriet for their support cooperation in the organization of this event. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, an event like this cannot happen overnight. The wheels started rolling weeks ago. It took planning and undertaking assigned tasks and responsibilities. The Liberia Land Authority has been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of motivated and dedicated staff who knows their job and are result-oriented. All staff of LA, please stand.